Well, it was another loss for the Pittsburgh Penguins here at PPG Paints Arena. I am Dan Kingerski on the Pittsburgh Hockey Now and the National Hockey Now YouTube channel. Do me a favor, like and subscribe to the channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Let's dive into the analysis of the game, though. The Penguins lose to the Rangers 7-4. Energy, intensity, tenacity on the puck, scoring chances, none of those things were a problem. Believe it or not, the Penguins played so well in so many phases of the game. What did them in? Mistakes. It seemed like, and these weren't careless, lazy mistakes. They were mistakes of trying too hard. Brian Rust trying for the home run pass to spring Drew O'Connor on a breakaway becomes a 2-on-1 and a Rangers goal. Those were the kinds of mistakes that the Penguins were making on Saturday afternoon. You almost felt for them because they brought it. And it was kind of undone by their own over-eagerness. And that really kind of comes down to it. The Penguins did have some flaws on Saturday. And I want to kind of tiptoe into them just a little bit. I don't want to bring the sledgehammer at this point because it might be 5 more years that I'm dealing with the fallout. But let's be really honest. It is a mistake on the part of Coach Mike Sullivan to keep pairing Erik Karlsson with Ryan Graves. It just doesn't work. Ryan Graves is not an instinctual player. He's not good on the improv or quick to adapt. He doesn't play the rush very well. You need all of those things to play with Erik Karlsson. And the Rangers scored a pair of goals on Saturday past a fallen Ryan Graves, who went to the ice to defend, went there, in my opinion, far too early, kind of did the SpongeBob defense, drop on the deck and flop like a fish. Trocheck with a beautiful fluttering sauce pass to Panarin for 1 goal, and I think Panarin got the other one as well, as Graves kind of left his feet to block a pass, and it still traversed right through him. Those are problems. Those are big problems. If Jarry isn't great, and make no mistake, on Saturday, Jonathan Quick won the goaltending duel with Tristan Jarry. Or maybe I shouldn't call it a goaltending duel. You get what I'm saying? Quick was better than Jarry. There were a couple of softies, or at least a couple that Jarry would like back. The fourth one, the fourth one that kind of undid any chance the Penguins had. Jarry has a chance to cradle the puck, but he drops it. He actually, I've watched the replay. This is my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. Jarry covered it. However, it was so quick between him covering it and Kreider kicking it away. You can't see, I made the kicking motion just for myself, apparently. Kreider kicks it away, passes it over to Panarin, who puts it in the net. Could the referee have, blown the whistle and said, nope, that was no goal? Yes, he could have. Letang clearly thought he should have and barked at the officials. No one's quite sure what he said. Well, obviously a few people on the ice know what he said. But he got a very quick 2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct. Mike Sullivan, I thought, had a very appropriate and tempered answer when he said, this is an emotional game. At this time of year, I'd like to think the referees know that the guys are emotional and invested. Basically saying, get a thicker skin, would you? Which I thought referee Chris Rooney and the other, TJ, do I have it here? Yeah, TJ Luxmore. I'm not sure which one called it, but Letang gets 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike. On the heels of that power play goal, Rangers get another one. It's 5-3, and that really, that was the game winner. I thought it was kind of cheesy, to be honest. Get a thick skin, let the boys play. Unless he said something so far out of bounds. If he called you, let's just say it might have begun with the letter F, followed by idiot, moron. Let it go. Good gosh almighty. That really did. You can't say it decided the game, but it gave the Rangers an opportunity to decide the game with a power play, which they did. I liked a lot of what I saw from the Penguins. What they did well. Let's get into that before I get to your questions. The Penguins got the puck into the zone. Good controlled zone entries. They played the puck low, created space around the net, created space in the slot, got good rips. They played that low to high game. They activated their defense in the offensive zone. The Penguins had no shortage of offensive chances. 27 according to Natural Stat Trick, if we're being exact. And they scored 4. That's a pretty good day most days. It's just those unfortunate errors. And the Rangers, make no mistake, transition, counterattack better than anybody else in the NHL. I was thoroughly impressed. They are much better than they were in November. They just go. And it's 3 and 4. Every wayward puck, every interception is just an odd man rush. And maybe the Penguins should have uglied it up a little bit, but I thought otherwise, Coach Mike Sullivan had a solid game plan. The Penguins probably should have won on Saturday. Now, here's the, I think I mentioned that maybe I didn't say it specifically enough, but yeah, I think it is Sullivan's mistake to put Graves with Karlsson, and that can't say it cost them a couple of goals, but they certainly could have done a lot better in defending them. Karlsson takes the wrong lane. Listen, I don't think anyone should expect Erik Karlsson to be great in the defensive lane. He's going to take the wrong lane. He's going to take the wrong guy occasionally. His job is to score points from the backside. It's Graves' job to do the rest. And if you're not going to do either, then there's a problem. So let's get to the questions from Paul McDaniel. Said the Penguins played hard in the ozone, had chances, very little defensive awareness, though. Puck watching. I don't know about puck watching. I would say lack of defensive ability, actually. The Penguins have put together, Kyle Dubas has put together a team that is not good defensively. How's that? Even, when Marcus Pettersson has a bad day, the Penguins are in real trouble. And Pettersson did not have a good day Saturday. Thus, the Penguins were in real trouble. P.O. Joseph and John Ludwig. Look at these guys. Ludwig, Bobby Orr incarnate, activating beneath the dots and playing around the offensive zone. He's starting to look like a bit more of a complete defenseman. I don't know how you can take him out of the lineup, quite frankly. You might see Ludwig move to the left side so they can put St. Ivany in on Sunday. Although I would be hard-pressed to say that's a good idea. The third pairing was all but blameless. In fact, I don't know that they were on the ice for a goal or that they had any direct attributable mistakes that led to any of the goals on Saturday. Joshua Carnes, how can the Penguins engage more physically? Joshua has a couple questions. Let's take that one. I thought they were stiff on the puck. The game is changing, Joshua, and I appreciate your question and the earnest manner in which it was asked. It wasn't, a lot of the stuff I get on the replies, but the game is, in fact, changing. The Scott Stevens, the Niedermeyers, they're gone. And that sort of bone-rattling physicality really doesn't exist so much in the NHL. The game is just too fast. The forwards are too agile. You try to line up a guy now for one of those old-timey hits, old-timey meaning like 15 years ago, or even 10 years ago, that forward's going to embarrass you. So you have to kind of play the body. Sure, you can rattle on the boards a bit more, but I think physicality is being redefined, and the Penguins were just fine in that regard on Saturday. Now, Joshua does get to a better point here. Their ability to play the body, especially around the net, seems to be lacking. Yes, it absolutely is. The Penguins are not good in front of their own net. That goes back to Ryan Graves. That really, he needs to be significantly better. That's not Erik Karlsson's job. I mean, you can say he's a defenseman all you want. That's not his job. That's not why you got him. That's not what you expect from him. I think Letang kind of made a bit of a mistake when Kreider scored. Letang could have been more engaged on Kreider. But Letang also thinks Jarry's going to cradle the rebound. And he also thinks Jarry's going to cover the rebound. So I'm not too critical on that. The Penguins could be better in front of the net. Is that systemic or personnel? Well, that's personnel, Josh. I assure you, Todd Reirden is not assistant coach. He's associate coach, Todd Reirden. I assure you they are not having meetings saying, guys, lay off them at the net. Don't take a penalty. Lay off. I assure you that's not what they're saying. The Penguins just don't really have that kind of player. And that's actually why St. Ivany is going to be such a different type of defenseman for them. Now, whether or not Jack St. Ivany is ready for the NHL, we're going to find out. I don't think Sunday, perhaps on the road trip, Dallas and Denver, but I think we're going to find out here in the coming week. And we've done plenty of write-ups on Jack over the last few months, especially when I scouted Wilkes-Barre back January 25th. I was blown away by what I saw. And I went to scout Poulin, and I wound up writing more about St. Ivany. That's just... So, for whatever my opinion is worth, and you all seem to... I shouldn't say all. People like to downgrade it, even when I'm right, because that's not fun. It's not fun to agree with the sports guy. St. Ivany, I think, has a real shot. We'll see how confident he is with playing a tight gap in the NHL. He does in the AHL. We'll see how different it is being physical against the larger NHL players when it's a little faster around the net. We'll see all of those sorts of things. Let's see here. Marcy Woodlinger. What is Dubas's plan to fix the team this summer? Let's just maybe wait until later April, if and when they do miss the playoffs. I think we'll have plenty to say on that. I do think there's a few players who probably need to be swapped out, who don't necessarily fit with the Penguins or the direction of the Penguins. So on and so forth. I was surprised there wasn't more turnover at the NHL trade deadline. I would have taken lesser offers, quite frankly, to free up that salary cap space. So you're really playing with a lot of money towards the NHL draft in late June. You can begin to absorb a bad contract to get a number one pick. You can do those sorts of things. I do think, my opinion right now, Dubas obviously has a plan, or he will be moving towards certain goals anyway. It's easy to say you have a plan. It's like playing chess. You have a plan until the other guy makes a move that you didn't see coming. And that's kind of what it's like to be an NHL GM, I suppose. Jim Stripsky. What? I can't read my own writing. Oh, what is happening? The shifts after a goal. Yeah, that's strange, isn't it? The Penguins actually had scoring chances immediately after scoring on Saturday, and the Rangers still put the puck in the net within 60 or 90 seconds. My only guess, and I'm kind of soft on this answer, Jim, my only answer is that the Penguins are not good defensively. They're just not. So when you have the forwards amped up, wanting to go for that kill shot, and you put a little more pressure on your defense, the Penguins are in trouble. That's my only, the other team obviously pushes back, and that's just a bad combination for the Penguins. If they do anything this summer, going back to Marcy's question, they really do need to fortify the defensive aspect of their defense. Mario asks, not the Mario Lemieux, Mario Lopez, not the Mario Lopez. I don't think, anyway. Are the old and bad players tuning out Sullivan? Is the coaching staff bad? Y'all just get some narratives, and you just wrap both arms around it, sink your teeth into it like a dog with a bone, and no amount of obvious evidence is going to change that, is it? No amount of actually watching a hockey game is going to impede that narrative. Who were the Penguins' best players on Saturday? Sidney Crosby, Jeff Carter. Yeah, Jeff Carter had a whale of a game. Until that penalty, Chris Letang. So there's 3 old guys. Evgeny Malkin had his best game in some time as well. Malkin was all over the puck. Malkin was engaged. So, you tell me. Now, is the coaching staff bad? They are making some mistakes. They are making some crucial mistakes. There's no question. I think I think at this point in the season, perhaps they're too deep in the forest on a couple of the issues. Are they bad? Look at the Penguins' game plan on Saturday. The Penguins, when they executed, and they did execute quite a bit, they were better than the Rangers. Got the puck low, out-muscled them, forced the Rangers to turn and defend, played around the net. They scored their goals with traffic and greasy. That's what I think, a good coach does. And the Penguins did kind of alter their plan. They played a very good low to high game. And you saw them swinging around. You saw them reversing course, creating open men, and playing east-west in the offensive zone. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? I think anything but. They're terrible. Fire them all. Anything but that, you're just going to keep asking the question, I assume. And my buddy, the Penguins Chronicle, says, what is Letang's IQ? Probably higher than yours. And that's where we're going to end it. Have fun, kids. We do it all again on Sunday. Like, subscribe. I'm Dan Kingurski on, you repeat it with me, the Pittsburgh Hockey Now and the National Hockey Now YouTube channel.